Hi guys, welcome to Fame and Scholar, and in this video I will be covering differences and similarities between Coulomb's law and gravitational law, then limitations of Coulomb's law and the introduction to principle of superposition of charge. So first of all, let us begin with similarities between Coulomb's law and gravitational law. So both the Coulomb's law and gravitational laws follows the inverse square law, that is, the force is inversely proportional to the distance square, that is F is equal to 1 by r square. Also, both these forces act along the line joining. So here we see that there are 2 points, that is one here and one here. So let if these were masses, these 2 points they were masses, then we see that there will be an attractive force between them, that is gravitational force. And if these two are uh, point charges or even charges, then there might be an attractive or repulsive force. In this both cases we see that there is a common line where the force is acted. So therefore these two, that is Coulomb's law and gravitational law, follows or acts along the line joining. That means the force is in the same line as two charges are, or the two masses. Now let us understand the differences between Coulomb's law and gravitational law. So Fe here represents the force on electron, or it is the Coulomb's law part, and Fg represents the gravitational law. So here we see that the Coulomb's law, in Coulomb's law there is repulsive as well as attractive force. So now repulsive, as we saw, that if there are two positive charges then there will be a repulsion, and then if there are two negative charges then also there will be repulsion. Also we know that if there is a positive and there is a negative charge, then both of them will attract each other. In gravitational law there is only attraction and there is no repulsion, as we know that if two bodies are kept in space or in whichever medium, then they will be attracted towards each other. And the second point is that this Coulomb's law, it depends on the medium. So we know that according to Coulomb's law, force is equal to kqq by r square. Here k is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0. Here this epsilon 0 is the permittivity of free space, and if it is not free space then there will be permittivity of any given medium. So we see that it is dependent upon a medium, whereas in gravitational law we see that the constant g, or the whole force itself, does not depend on any of the medium. Therefore if it is kept even in space, then also it will attract to each other. If they are kept in water, then also there will be some attraction. The electrostatic force is quite larger and stronger force, whereas the gravitational force is quite small, or it is quite weak force. We can see that here the value of k is equal to 9 into 10 to power 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square, whereas the value of g is equal to 6.67 into 10 to power minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. Here only the limiting factor in both of these is k and g. Therefore we see that k is quite much bigger than g. Therefore we can come to a conclusion that electrostatic force is much more stronger than the gravitational force. So now let us understand the limitation of Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law cannot be applied to charges which are extended. That means they are always kept moving around. Therefore this law cannot be applied to those charges. Also, if both the charges, here we see that Coulomb's law is based on two charges. Therefore if both the charges are also rotating, then we can't apply this Coulomb's law. But if we see that one charge is stationary and the other is moving, then we can apply Coulomb's law over here. So that is the limitation. So now let us understand the principle of superposition of charges. So let's say we are taking a system. In that system there are n number of charges, that is there is q1, q2, q3, so on up to qn number of charges. And now if we want to find the force on any one of this, let's say on the nth one, then what we have to do is that we have to add all the forces on n. That is, their first charge has some force on this n, so what we will do is force on n is equal to force on n due to first charge plus force on n due to second charge, then force on n due to third charge, and so on up to n minus 1. That is just before this charge, what was that? Till that we will add it, and this addition will be in vector form. We will understand this concept in much more deeper way by taking some examples in the next video. So now let us revise what we have learned till now. So we learned that there are some similarities and there is some differences between Coulomb's law and gravitational law. That is, the similarities are they follow the inverse square law, that is force is equal to 1 by r square, that is force is inversely proportional to the distance square. Also they act along this line joining, that is they act along the same line in which they are kept. There are some differences, like the electric force is repulsive as well as attractive, whereas the gravitational force is only attractive. The electric force depends on the medium, whereas the gravitational force does not, and the electric force is much more stronger than the gravitational force. Also we learned some limitations, that is it is not applicable for extended charges, that is the charges which are moving. Also if there is only one stationary charge and one is moving, then this law can be applicable. Then we studied superposition of charges, that is if there are n number of charges, then the force on the nth one or the force on the n1 is equal to force on n due to 1 plus force on n due to 2 plus so on to force on n due to the n minus 1, that is the one which is coming just before the nth charge.